By the end of this video, you're going to know about 7 hidden ChatGPT settings and features that you need to make sure that you're using in 2026 if you want to be taking full advantage of ChatGPT, because most of these you probably haven't seen before or heard from before, and they'll actually help increase your productivity. The setting number 1 that you need to make sure you begin using is the pin chats feature. So now when you come over to ChatGPT right here, you could see that you can actually pin chats, and you're going to be able to pin 3 of them. So we could see that I have these 3 pinned right here because I always keep coming back to these chats. But essentially what you could do now is click on this right here and you can unpin it, or if you did want to pin it, you could come over here and pin this chat right here. You can also note that from this directly right here, you could share chats with people. You could start a group chat from a chat. You could rename the chat, and you could also move it into a specific project if you wanted that chat to live inside of there. But essentially what I would recommend that you do is if you have things that you're constantly doing every day, for example, I get YouTube growth ideas from ChatGPT every single day. What I've actually done is gone through and pinned this so I don't have to go looking for it, and I could just find this chat incredibly quickly, because as we could see, literally every single day I have an automation that is going through and it's running, and I'm going to show you how to set up automations like this for you in just a few minutes, because like we could see right here, this literally goes through every single day and sends me new ideas that I should make YouTube videos on. And you could set up the same thing here for whatever you're trying to accomplish with ChatGPT, and it doesn't matter whether or not you're a YouTuber. Now, the second feature that you want to make sure that you're using is going to be, if we come over to new chat right here, you are going to see this right here, which is turn on temporary chat. If we click on this, this basically opens up an incognito window. So this chat won't appear in your history. It won't be used to update ChatGPT's memory, and it won't be used to train models. If you ever have some random question you want to ask ChatGPT, or some totally off the cuff thing, I would strongly suggest that you use a temporary chat, because what that is going to do is make sure that it doesn't clog up your memory. For example, I look at cars all the time. I look at stocks all the time. I look at tons of new business ideas all the time. And a lot of times I'll actually use a temporary chat because I don't want ChatGPT to accidentally say, hey, Rob is interested in this. Or, hey, Rob got a new car. Or, hey, Rob changed his financial portfolio, because I probably didn't do those things. I was probably just trying to ask ChatGPT a question. But one other thing that I do want to note with this is that for safety purposes, they are going to keep a history of this chat for 30 days. So please don't ask this something that you think nobody will ever be able to see, because ChatGPT will report your chats to the police if you begin to ask it something really crazy. Now, that third feature I want to make sure that you're using is going to be this group chat feature right here, because if we click right here, we could see that we could start a group chat, and essentially what this allows you to do is share this link with somebody, or you could invite them via email if we come over here, and what you can essentially see is that this has its own settings. So if we come over here, we can see that we can manage the people here, we can manage the link, and we can customize this. So essentially what you're allowed to do is do 2 things with the settings here. One, you could add in custom instructions in order to change how ChatGPT is going to respond to things. For example, you could put details about the group, you could put the goals of the group, preferences, inside jokes, all stuff like that, and then ChatGPT will understand it. In addition to that, you can have respond automatically turned on or off. If you're using a group chat, I would strongly recommend you come in here and turn this off. By default, it's going to be turned on. And now what this does is makes it so ChatGPT doesn't automatically reply. So I type hi in here, ChatGPT doesn't reply. It will only reply when we put at ChatGPT, and then it will have all the context of all the different messages that everybody else put into ChatGPT, which is incredibly powerful. Now, update number 4 is that you need to make sure that you're coming over here into settings, coming under apps over here. You want to scroll down to advanced settings right here, where you're going to be able to turn on developer mode, because what this is going to allow you to do is hook up your ChatGPT to Zapier's MCP, and I want you to check this out. So when I turn on developer mode right here, and I come over here and I open up a new chat, I can come over here and now I can grab Zapier right here, and guess what? I have my Zapier hooked up to thousands of different apps. In fact, this allows you to hook ChatGPT up to more than 8,000 different apps, and it's incredibly simple to do this. In fact, all you have to do is click over here and then come over to any app that you want to hook ChatGPT up to. For example, maybe want to hook it up to ClickUp, we can then click on this and then select all the different tools that we can actually add under here. And as we can see, we could get this to do a bunch of different functions. And then what this can actually do is connect your ChatGPT to all these thousands of different apps. And this is incredibly easy to do with ChatGPT's MCP, but you need to be in developer mode in order to actually use this. For example, we could come over here and we can say, please let me know the last 3 meetings I had on Zoom and send the link to the recordings. And then what this is going to do, because this has access to my Zoom, we could see that it can create meetings, it can create webinars, it can find meetings, it can find recordings, and that's exactly what this is going to do over here. So this is going to go through, and this is going to be allowed, and then this is going to use Zapier right here to connect to my Zoom in order to take action on this when otherwise ChatGPT wouldn't be able to. Now we can see here that ChatGPT now went through and it grabbed me my last 3 meetings, told me how long they were, the date, gave me the meeting ID, and it gave me the actual date for these meetings. And then about the recording links, it goes through and it can grab those too. Like I was saying before, you could literally give this access to more than 8,000 different apps, which will stop you from having to switch from tab to tab to tab, and will give your ChatGPT access to way more apps. Because if we just come over here under settings and come under apps right here, we could see that ChatGPT has a few apps under here, but not everything that you'd actually want to use if you were trying to be incredibly productive. And the only way to hook ChatGPT up to more than 8,000 different apps is going to be using Zapier. Now, the best part about Zapier is that if you go to the pinned comment below right now, you can get started with it today for free. In fact, I put the link down there directly to their MCP server so that you can sign up and get this connected in the next few minutes. Now, that next ChatGPT setting and feature I want to make sure that you're using is something that I alluded to earlier, because I have a bunch of different scheduled actions on my ChatGPT, and the way that you could do that is by coming over here into settings, click on schedules, click on manage right here, and then what this is going to allow you to do is actually go through and do things for you. For example, I have this one right here that discovers new AI tools for me. I have this one right here that goes through my tasks and suggests what my schedule should be. I have this one right here that does a search for a Ford Raptor because I'm in the market for one. And as we can see right here, we can come over here and we can actually come and curate exactly what it's going to do. So you can tell ChatGPT what you're curious about, what you want to stay on top of, what you want to stay updated with, or you could ask it to do anything that's custom right here, and it will actually go through and begin to do this on a regular basis. In addition to that, if you have anything here that's paused, we could see that we could resume it right here. We could get it to focus on something else, or we could reschedule it to a new date simply by coming in here and changing these. And then what this is going to do is get ChatGPT to take action for you every single day, research things for you every single day, and keep you up to date about the things that you actually care about. And we can come in here every day by just clicking on Pulse or by coming to settings, going to schedules, and then you'll be able to see this. And we can see right here that now this goes through and reminds me of things, how to do them. And basically this like completely customizes your ChatGPT so that it's specific to your interests only and the things that you actually care about. Now, the next setting I wanted to make sure you're using correctly are using the correct models, because most people just keep ChatGPT on auto, and this is not what you should be doing. In fact, I would strongly recommend that you never use ChatGPT auto. I would just manually switch between the different ChatGPT modules. So if you're just asking ChatGPT a question or you're trying to research something, I would click on instant right here so that it replies to you right away without thinking too much. If you're asking it something a little bit more complex, for example, you're asking it to solve a business problem or your homework or something like that, you might want to turn on thinking right here, where it's actually going to think and give you better answers. And what I would always do is keep this at either standard or light. Extended and heavy, it's really only going to be if you're coding something or trying to solve like some really hard science or math problem. And then the last one here is going to be pro. The only reason that you would ever be doing this is if you're doing like PhD level research or trying to code a really hard problem. But for 99% of things, you should be switching just between instant or thinking with either light or standard turned on. Now, the next thing I wanted to make sure you're aware of is if we come over here into personalization, you do not want your personalization to look like this. I just went through and reset all of mine so that we can kind of refigure it together. But base, style, and tone, you want to make sure that you have this however you want ChatGPT to be. Personally, I put candid here because I want ChatGPT to be very direct and very encouraging. So I typically always go with candid right there. When it comes to characteristics, warm, I always put less. Enthusiastic, I actually always put less. Header and lists, I always put more. And emojis, I always put less. And then you could add in other custom styles and instructions here. For example, if you wanted it to be very brief, or if you wanted to always double check everything, or if you wanted it to always ask you follow-up questions, you could specify that right here inside of custom instructions and add that in. In addition to that, you could add a nickname, occupation, you could tell it more about you, and you want to make sure that this is on, 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 and this is on. In addition to that, you want to make sure that you're coming under advanced mode and making sure that all of these are turned on, because if you don't have all those settings turned on, you're not using ChatGPT to its maximum capability. And then on top of that, the last setting I wanted to show you is if we come over here into Instant, let's say that you wanted to get ChatGPT to take action on your behalf, for example, finding you the cheapest flight. So I have to go to the Bahamas this weekend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this plus right here. I'm not going to use shopping research, but I am going to use agent mode. And I'm going to make sure that ChatGPT has access to everything that it might actually need. We can see right here that we could get this to create presentations, to create spreadsheets, to create reports, or ChatGPT will actually go through and suggest specific things based on what you're actually interested in, or we could see actions right here. So what I'm actually going to get this to do is I'm going to say, please find me the cheapest flight for Sunday from FLL to Nassau, Bahamas. And then what this is going to do, because agent mode is turned on, is this is going to access the internet. This is going to figure out the cheapest flight for me. And I could actually get this to actually buy that flight for me if you felt comfortable giving ChatGPT access to your credit card information. And now we could see that this went through and very quickly was able to find me the cheapest flights right here. It gives me the times, gives me the lists, gives me the baggage allowance, gives me alternative options. And now I could click on this and I can book it. Or like it says right here, would you like assistance booking? I could actually get this to book this for me. And if we come back over and open up a new chat right here and open up agent mode again, we could see that there are tons of things that this could do. For example, review and prioritize your inbox. It could catch you up on Teams conversations. It can access any apps that you give it access to right here, which is pretty incredible. And again, you could give it access to 8,000 apps with Zapier. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I would strongly suggest you check out this video right here that walks you through 7 other AI tools that I personally can't live without, and they're definitely ones that you should check out for 2026. If that sounds interesting, I'll see you over there.